Do you have any idea who's coming today? Nope.
St. Nicholas.
St. Nicholas, you're awfully close. St. Nicholas. Now we know it's still Advent time, right? But St. Nicholas's Day is December 6th. This is about as close as we can get. So St. Nicholas is coming to tell his story with us. And at the peace, you may go and retrieve your other shoe. Not before. Not before. And when you retrieve your other shoe, don't just open it up. Wait, okay? So wait until the coffee. Okay, so do a little soft shoe girl. He has a long trip to make. All right. Let's give it up for St. Nicholas. No, you don't. He's from Turkey.
Well, now I think I reside in
Everywhere.
pretty much everywhere. All right. Well, hello everyone. I hope you're all doing well today. As she said, my name is Nicholas, and you probably know me by other names. We're going to get into those in just a few minutes. I want to tell you a little bit about my story. Hopefully by the end of my story, you'll figure out what my other names are. Unless you were here last year, but you probably don't know. My name is Nicholas. I was born to Greek parents, which if both my parents were Greek would make me Italian. No, it would not make me Italian. It would probably make me Greek as well. We lived in a beautiful home. My mother, Johanna, my father was Epiphanius. They were merchants. So merchants were people who basically sold stuff. They bought, they sold, and they made lots and lots and lots of money. And so growing up, I had all the money and everything you could ever want. But to me, the money meant nothing. Having a house and everything, it was nice, but my heart was for God. And even at an early age, all I ever wanted to do was whatever God wanted me to do. I was very happy to have my mom and dad and everything, but I was really happy that God knew who I was. So in my town where I grew up, there was a lot of people who didn't have as much money as I did. So, being the person that I was, and loving God, I saw this. And so one of my favorite things to do when I was a young man was when everybody went to sleep and they put their shoes out to dry, because back then we all had leather shoes, and if you had leather shoes you had to clean them, and if you had leather shoes and you cleaned them, then you had to polish them, and then after you finished polishing them they had to dry. So, you know, we're in a nice place and it's warm, and they would put their shoes out, and guess what I would do? I used to like to take all the money my parents gave me, and I would go around and put it in people's shoes. Nobody knew I did it. I didn't want them to know. It wasn't for them to know. It was only for God to know that I cared about all of His people. So everyone in the town was God's person, and because I was God's child, I loved them as much as God did. So when everybody was sleeping and I was probably supposed to be in bed, I wasn't. And I would go around and I would put money and stuff in all of their shoes, and then I would come home and I would be tired, and I would go to bed, but I would go to bed happy, and I would be thankful to God. Yes. Stockings go on your feet. You know what? Everything was invented in Greece. I think that the first translation of the Bible from Hebrew was into Greek. Yeah. So I mean, we pretty much did everything. We were the best. But yeah. And so that's what I would do. I would go around and I would do that, and then I would just go home and I would go to sleep, and I was so happy. I had a wonderful time. I had beautiful parents. But unfortunately, something happened. In the town where I was at, and throughout most of Europe, people were starting to get very sick. And unfortunately, my mom and dad got sick too. I knew that it wasn't God, it was not God's fault. People get sick. You know, we get old, we get sick. And unfortunately, my mom and dad died. And I was heartbroken. Because obviously you love your mom and dad. But I was very blessed. I was blessed because not only did I have wonderful parents who loved God, and when I was growing up, talking about Jesus wasn't the best thing you could do. Unfortunately, there were still a lot of people who didn't believe in him. My parents were never afraid to talk about God. And I was never afraid to talk about God. And so when they passed away, I was lucky because I got to go live with my uncle. So maybe some people here, maybe you don't live with your mom and dad, maybe you live with grandma, grandpa, or your uncle, but guess what? That is a big blessing because you still have someone who loves you. And my uncle loved me, and I love my uncle because my uncle, he was in the church and he loved God. I mean, I love God, but oh my gosh, this guy was crazy about God. And I got to learn under him. He taught me everything he knew. He taught me everything about being a priest, and we had a beautiful time together, and I was very happy. But remember, I still have all this money. And I don't need this money. I don't want this money. So about this time, I had heard about a father who had 3 beautiful daughters. Well, the problem is, he wasn't very rich. And back then, for a girl to get married, you had to give the husband money. Yes, and so one of the things that I did is when it came time for them to get married, I would take a big bag of gold, and I like to do things at night when everybody's sleeping so nobody knows it's me. And I went and I would throw the money in the window and I would run because I didn't want him to catch me, you know. And so he would wake up and there would be this bag of money. And he had money to give to his daughter, to give to her future husband so that she can get married. Because back then, if a girl didn't get married, she would probably have to go and work and clean someone's house forever and ever. Yeah. Anyone who like to do housework? No. You do? Well, there you go. You wouldn't need any money. You could clean my house. That'd be great. But so he did this. And remember, the father had 3 daughters, right? So I had to make sure that I kept an eye on them. Because when it came time for them to get old enough to be married, I needed to make sure that I was there. So the second time the second daughter was getting ready to get married, I threw the money in there and I ran. And nobody saw me because I did it in the middle of the night when I was supposed to be asleep. But I wasn't. And so she got married. So we got 2 daughters and they had money and they were able to get married. And they didn't have to clean dishes for the rest of their lives, which is great. But on the third daughter, he was waiting for me. He was waiting for me, and I didn't think that he would be awake, but I snuck up, and I threw the money in there, and he looked out the window and he saw me, but I don't think he saw my face. And I ran. But he had a feeling it was me. And so what happened from that point forward is that I guess God blew my cover, right? God wanted people to know that how much I loved him and how much I would do everything for the people in the town that I lived at. And so that's what I did. With all the money that I had and with my uncle with me, I did everything I could to help him. I did everything I could for all the people in the town where I was at. And with my uncle's teaching, I was able to progress in the church. So I went from being a priest to being a bishop. And as bishop, I was blessed because at the time, Constantine, who was the ruler at the time, he happened to actually like God too, which is very rare because almost no people wanted to hear about God. But I wouldn't stop telling them about God. So he came to me and a bunch of my bishop friends, and he asked if we would do something. He asked if we would go and talk to other people about God. So we ended up going to a city called Nicaea, right? N-I-C-A, it was a long time ago. But anyway, so we ended up going there, and there was quite a few of us, and there was a lot of people there who didn't like God. And they didn't think that God should have any part in anything that had to do with the church, which makes absolutely zero sense because the church is about who? It's about God, right? It's not about people. It's not about us. We're not here because, we like green pews or something and hardwood floors, but I do like hardwood floors. But we're here because we want to worship God. And we want to make God happy, right? And what did I do? I wanted to spend my life loving God and making God happy. So I told them about God. And when we were all done, what we had put together at that time is what we all recite today, which is the Nicene Creed. And I had a big part in that. So when you read the Nicene Creed, you can think of Nicholas, right? And so that's what I did my whole life, even after that. With all the money I had, and even when all the money was gone, you know what I did? I still helped people. I did whatever I could for people. And that's what we're all called upon to do as Christians, right? It's not always about us. Maybe we don't have a lot. Even when I had nothing, when I gave away all my money and I had nowhere to go and nothing in my pockets, God provided for me. He always provided for me. And if I got $5, guess what? That $5 could go to someone else. Because I didn't need it. I know. I'd be like, I'm going to give me $5, I'm keeping it. I'm going to 7-Eleven. But in my time, we didn't have a 7-Eleven, so we didn't even have Smiths. We had to catch our food, like with a net. And growing up, I always thought that the fishermen were the most awesome people in the world, because when I was going to sleep, they were getting up to go to work, and they would catch fish for us to eat. And I was always kind of worried for them, because where I grew up in a town that was right on the ocean, and oh my gosh, sometimes those waves were like 100 feet tall. And I was so scared that the sailors would die that I would always pray for them. And so I prayed for all the sailors, and I loved to pray for the kids. And so people they started associating me with that, right? They started associating me with sailors. And the fact is, I was happy for that because I love the sailors. Because I really like fish a lot. Like fish sticks. Maybe not stinky fish. But I like fish sticks. I love fish sticks and I like French fries. So anyways, I grew up and that's what I did. I would pray for people, and anytime I had money, I would give it away. And so people started associating me with gift giving, right? Like every time, there's St. Nicholas, which I didn't like to be called St. Nicholas. I just like people to call me Nicholas because I thought we were all saints. But everyone would say, there's St. Nicholas, he likes to help people, and he's always giving away stuff. And so that's what I became known for. So, if my name is Nicholas, and people call me St. Nicholas, what might be another name for me? What is it? Well, I'll give you one. St. Nicholas, that's right. But if you were in Holland, or if you spoke Dutch, you wouldn't call me St. Nicholas. You would have called me Sinterklaas. Sinterklaas. So if my name is St. Nicholas, and some people call me Sinterklaas, if you put those together, what do you think you'd get? Santa Claus, that is right. So whenever you think of Santa Claus, whenever you see those presents under the tree and they say they're from Santa, they're from St. Nicholas. They're from me. But they're not from me. They're from St. Nicholas. But don't tell anyone I'm St. Nicholas. Alright, so that's the story of me. Now, if you go forth today, I just want you to keep in your heart, whatever you have in your pockets can always help someone else. Since you're here on this earth and God loves you and He gives you clothes and food to eat, always think about someone who may not have all that and maybe you can help them.